And now at 7, insurance rates for things like your home and car could be getting cheaper.
It all comes after lawsuit reform laws were signed this week in Georgia. Well, now the insurance commissioner says insurance companies, well, they had better lower rates.
Atlanta News First investigator Anastasia Olmos sat down with the commissioner this week to find out how soon we could see these changes.
So much political capital was spent on getting tort reform. They better not come to our office and ask a ridiculous rate increase.
After a hard-fought battle for lawsuit reform, Georgia Insurance Commissioner John King says it's time for insurance companies to step up to the plate.
Abuses in the civil justice system was the biggest reason why the rates were so high. We removed that.
The new laws taking effect this week are supposed to curb multi-million-dollar insurance payouts for lawsuits against businesses that couldn't prevent a crime or injury from happening. Ultimately, they're supposed to lower costs for consumers, but state lawmakers fear the laws don't hold insurance carriers accountable.
Nothing in this bill will address car accident insurance premiums. It won't address homeowner premiums. It won't address business owner premiums.
Commissioner King says the law may not force companies to lower premiums, but that's where his office comes in.
I expect reasonably 3 to 5% decrease in rates in Georgia.
How long do you think that it'll take?
I expect 3 to 5% this year.
Really?
Yes, we removed the excuse for insurance companies when it comes to peril.
In Georgia, the insurance commissioner can't reject rate increases altogether, but he can limit them.
They have to bring me their books to show where the losses are.
But experts at the Insurance Information Institute, an industry trade organization representing insurance companies, tells Atlanta News First investigates it's unlikely rates will drop so fast. A spokesperson says it will likely take 12 to 18 months for lawsuits previously filed to go through the courts. And even then, potential tariffs could affect the cost of auto and property insurance policies, with more expensive car parts and construction costs.
We have to allow them to have a reasonable rate so they can make a profit, a reasonable profit, but not enough where they're gouging the consumer.
In our previous investigations, we introduced you to an Atlanta apartment owner struggling to keep rent affordable for residents with rising insurance costs for the coverage he can get.
Yes, our premiums went up tremendously, but the big deal that we can't get here, which we haven't been able to get for close to 7 or 8 months now, is assault and battery coverage.
Commissioner King says he can't force insurers to offer certain coverages, but he's willing to incentivize competitors if they don't.
What I'm doing is recruiting insurance companies, small and medium insurance companies. They're willing to compete against these big carriers that don't want to go into this area.
King is also asking consumers to reach out to his office with concerns.
We've also fined insurance companies the greatest fines in Georgia history, about $22 million. So there's accountability.
Anastasia Olmos joins us now here in the studio. So Anastasia, did the commissioner give any insight on what kind of actions he might take if these insurance companies don't lower rates?
All right. Well, he did say that he would take companies straight to public hearings to answer to consumers and the media. He said he's hoping to bring in more competition for companies who don't lower rates. And he also plans on asking lawmakers to increase his authority, including how much he can fine for violations next session. I'm Anastasia Olmos, Atlanta News First investigates.